Good morning, everyone. I think we can start now. My name is Nadi, and I am the program manager for Agri-Talent program at Kirk. Under the Agri-Talent program, we have a project called Growing Opportunities, which we are going to talk about today. Thank you all for joining and for your interest in this project. So as you must have seen in the promos and the information that we have shared, that this is a wage subsidy program for hiring post-secondary students in agriculture related field. And by agriculture related field, we actually mean anything related to agriculture, not just farms, not just working on site, but it can be ag tech related, ag research, universities, non-profit organizations supporting the ag industry. So we have really tried to keep this wide. The reason being, this project was designed so as to bring more opportunities to post-secondary students regarding what are the options and how this industry works. I'm sure all of you will agree, and something that has often come up in all the researches that Kirk does is that there is a perpetual workforce shortage, and that starts from the farm to all related, even ancillary industries. So we have been trying to think of ideas where we could encourage more students to explore ag and change, do a bit of perception change as well, because we, in our communication with students, we have seen how students do not really consider ag as their primary job seeking industry, especially if the student is from a non-ag background, especially business and science, engineering. This has been quite, I would say, prominent. And in our Growing Opportunities project, as well as another project that we are running, we have been trying to do a perception change and saying that ag does not necessarily mean pitchforks, it does not mean growing food, but there is so much that students from science and business can also contribute to. And this is what this project is also about, that we do not really want ag jobs only for students, but also any job in the ag industry, say for an accountant, say for an IT technician. And this is how more students will be encouraged to come into it and see what lies there. For this whole project, we are getting funding from the Government of Canada, and we have an obligation to use a particular platform called the Outcome Campus Connect for this whole processing. So that platform is the biggest in Canada for campus recruitment. However, having said that, this is not always the most straightforward way for for at least for employers. It's not often this most straightforward platform, though it risks drastically minimize the amount of paperwork that employers have to do. So in today's webinar, we want to walk you through, how to process, the how-to of this process, like how do you apply for a funding, or how do you post a job on the Outcome Campus Connect platform so that your life gets easier and so does ours. So I'll not take more time in all this introduction. I'll go straight to the presentation that I've prepared so that it would give you a better idea of how this whole process is going to work. So as I was saying, the project, we are calling it Growing Opportunities. And today we are going to talk about the funding application process. Now, one of the most common questions that we receive from employers is, what is work integrated learning? And under this project, how we are defining it, or what encompasses this work integrated learning. I would like to say that for us, we considered any work experience that a student gathers by working in the ag industry as work integrated learning. It can be a long-term structured work experience like an internship, co-op placement, or I would say even capstone project, or it could also be a one-off working arrangement. Like we have already received applications for, say, a IT technician who is going to support a particular organization in setting up a software, and then at the end of 3 months, this work opportunity ends. So whether be it one-off, be it a structured long-term work arrangement, part-time, full-time, we are completely fine with it as long as there is a wage attached. I think I've covered this before too, that who can apply. We are going from food growers up to retailers, anyone in between, anyone supporting this industry grow is most welcome to submit their application for this program. So farmers, universities, and colleges, we have been receiving a lot of research positions, and that is great. Nonprofit organizations, startup, ag tech. Ag tech is something we really are trying to promote because there's so much technological involvement now in the ag sector. And if we can support this grow, I guess this is better for the industry. Even aquaculture, horticulture, nursery, and retailers. So all of these employers are encouraged, and we welcome them to apply for this funding opportunity. So by hiring students, as opposed to a fresh graduate or of course any other, I would say any other match, we are trying to, as I said, incorporate the current students into this industry so that they have an idea, and once they graduate, they are willing to become a part of this industry. And of course, these students will definitely bring new ideas to the table and help employers. So if you are wanting to participate in this project, you, as I mentioned, you will need to do the whole processing through a Outcome Campus Connect portal. And this is what this portal looks like. So I'm sure in the email also that you've received, you have got this link, which is magnet.who+u.com/lp.kirk.ccrha. So this is the landing page. When you come here, you know that you are applying to our program and not just any other program, because there are different SWIP delivery partners, but this is the one that is specific to Kirk and to the ag industry. Once you land here, you have two options. So if you have already been here, you might already have an account, so you can just log in. But for most of you who are new to this platform, it would be create an account, as it shows here. So as you move on to create an account, you have to choose that you are an employer and you are signing up as an employer to post a job or just to apply for a funding. As part of the signing up process, you are providing basic organizational information, very basic and nothing at all that's too detailed. Once you're done putting in this information like organizational name, organizational contact person, email, and have an account detail. So at the bottom, you will see a sign up button and you hit that and there you have your account created. Once you have the account created, you will receive an activation email in the email address provided, and you have to activate the account from there. So once you activate the account, you are going to be taken directly to this dashboard, that the screenshot at the bottom of the page. And from here, your journey starts. But you have to click on apply now. This is what is going to take you into the application process. Now, when you go into apply now, as I was mentioning before, you will get two different choices. First, you can create a job posting and then apply for a funding. So this is if you do not have a student match to your job requirement and you want to tap into the pool of about 1 million students that are already on Outcome Campus Connect. Or if you already have hired a student or you have someone in mind and you just want to go ahead with just the funding application, you can select the option below, which is continue with only applying for funding. So say you want to post a job and find a match and then move on to apply for the funding. So your next step would be choosing what kind of a job you're posting for. So what type of opportunity are you recruiting for? There is I would say the list is quite long. We have not been able to capture everything in the first screenshot. You will have a few more options as you scroll down. And I think it would definitely match one of what you are, it would definitely be one of the options given here. And once you have chosen what type of recruitment you're doing, you have to choose a term. As I have mentioned before, that this funding is for fall and winter only. We do not have a confirmation about summer, though we do believe that this is going to continue over summer as well. But as of now, we are just hiring students for fall and winter term. By having said that, Fall means September 1 to December 31st, and winter means January 1st to March 30th. So here you see April 30th as an endings, but that is like more like ending of the project, but the placement has to end by March 30th. So if any, even like we receive the question like, are we too late for fall applications? No. If you have already hired a student for fall starting in September, and you want to apply for a funding now, you can do that too. And if you want to apply for winter now, you can do that too. If you think, so the job placement has to be between September to March 30th. And in between this time, whatever wage you are paying out, will be giving you a subsidy based, a percentage based on that, which is 75% or $7,500. Once, so the next step is when you choose a field of study or area of study for the position. So if it's a business position, say an accountant, you can choose business, finance, management, and administration, which is the third option. If you are actually looking for something that is actually related to agriculture, then you can choose agriculture, animal, and related practices. If you're looking for IT related something, there is also that option below, which is not captured right here. So what this allows you is to go for targeted marketing or opening up this job posting to only students you would like to hire. And that way you are reducing the, I would say you're customizing the pool and not having to go through a lot of unwanted applications. Then moving on, once you have selected one of the broader categories, you have the option to further customize your selection and select a specific program. Like if you have chosen agriculture, animal, and related practices, you can go further down and select if you want agriculture student from agriculture science or agronomy or biotechnology, environment. So there are so many different options within these options to further customize. If you don't want to make your pool small, you can also keep it open and not do any further customization. You can also choose a school that you want your applications from. Say you are an employer in Alberta and you would only want schools in Alberta, that is possible. You can choose schools based on region or community where you want yours to hire from. The next option is where you can keep your network open or closed. So the open network option, what it is that it opens up this job posting to even students who are not registered on this platform as part of their school. So under this, there could be students who are applicants who are recent graduates who have graduated 2 years back. So by what happens when you open up to this network is that you cannot filter in what kind of applications you're getting. So as under this project, you cannot hire someone who's no longer a student. By opening up the network, you do not know if that person is a match until you go into the full processing of this. Next, you have to tell a little bit about the employer, and the employment opportunity. So here it says, what language is the mode of communication, the dates for the application, and what the salary is going to be. Is it hourly? Is it a remote work or not? So all the kinds of details that is going to be a part of this job posting, these qualifications, skill requirements. So everything that you want the student to see is put in here. Next, we want some information on who is filling in the application. So this information is not viewable to the students. So do not be worried that students might be bombarding you with questions. They may contact you directly. No, that's not going to happen. This is just for us and also for the educational institutions. So in case an educational institution wants to check the background of their student being hired, they may get in touch with you, but not the students. At the end of the job posting process, you are asked if you are looking to give an opportunity to underrepresented groups like first-year students, indigenous students, newcomers to Canada, person with disability, visible minority, women in STEM, etc. So as part of this project, we are really trying to encourage employers to hire from these underrepresented groups. And if you too would like to show your support for them, please select whichever you find is appropriate for the job posting you're doing. And by clicking next, you are now going into the final review of your job posting. So here again, you have in this last step, you are given details of what this eligible funding can be like. So for hiring a student, as I said, you can get up to 75% or $7,500 of subsidy for each student hired. And if you are ready to move on to the funding application, then please click next, and your job is posted. Now you're done with the job posting, and you know that you have Kirk as your delivery partner, and now you are going to apply for a funding. So here again, you're choosing the placement term. So for which term you're choosing the placement to be, you have to choose this here. And so our funding can be for only one of the terms for each student, or it would anyways max out the 75% or $7,500. And the next, you have a thorough list of all the terms and conditions or the eligibility criteria for the employer, student, and although the placement. So please go through this carefully as you proceed to apply for the funding. Next, we have some organizational details. Again, it's organization name, what type of organization it is, which industry it belongs to, what kind of a placement you are going for. So as we showed before, so this is going to be a similar list of what kind of placement you are applying for funding for, and you have to choose one of them. And next, so as I was mentioning, that you have the option of just applying for funding. So if you have already position filled, this is where you click and you say the position is filled, so that the system knows that you are not looking to post a job, and you already have the student details. At this point, you can upload any document that you think will help in the application process. So for example, if you have a student hired, you can already upload your student maybe contract letter or a proof of enrollment of the student, so that at one go, when we're reviewing an application, we see that we are almost there. So finally, you review whatever you have been filling in at this point, and then you're done. Click on finish, and you are good to go. If during this process or at the end of it you have any question, here is this dashboard. You have this connect button. You can click here and you can directly email to me, and I will be able to help you with any question that you may have. After you have completed your postings, this is how your dashboard is going to look. If you have, say, posted 2 jobs, you can see what status they're at, if they have been approved. So you will see the status pending, processing, etc. Even if you want to communicate with us, or if you want to see if we have communicated with you, you can click on the small pencils just beside the arrow, and you can get into each application and see what is if you have any communication or not. So the status will change as we keep processing our application. So when it has not been processed, you'll see pending. Then as we accept your application and start going into different aspects, like asking for documentation from you, asking you to sign a terms and contract with us, it will go into the processing stage, and then finally you will also have an approved stage. So this here, when you're opening your application, this small call out button at the bottom is your message. It is for messaging. You can send message to us, you can send notes to us, and using the same button we can also send messages to you. So if you have received any communication, you should be able to see it here as well. That's it from my side today. Thank you so much.